Hello everyone, welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I am so glad to have you here with me today. Thank you for excusing me from yesterday's stream. I had an internet outage and of course, Mercury retrograde, just kind of par for the course, right? But I'm glad that you're here today and I'm glad that I am here too. So if you are new here, welcome in. If you are returning, welcome back. And if you are enjoying this on the replay, you're going to have just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. If you would like to join me live, go ahead and check out the description below. All of the regular days and times that I stream here on YouTube are listed there. You can also find information about my live online Reiki certification classes, community Discord, crystal shop, and social media. If you're here live, go ahead, click the live chat button and make any requests that you happen to have for your physical, mental, emotional well-being that you might have. They can be very general or very specific, whatever you feel comfortable sharing on a very public platform. We're going to start out by building a beautiful crystal grid to support all of your healing requests. And at about the 45-minute to 1 hour point, we will transition into the Reiki session where we will focus on the healing. Sorry, just heard some background noise. Didn't know quite what it was. Oh yeah, we are very much into the Mercury. We're a good ways into it. It's been going on since the 29th. So look, you're about halfway through it. It's what it is. I know people talk about it as like, oh no, the sky is falling. Everything's wrong. It's really not. It happens 3 or 4 times a year. And yet we're all here. It's just like, glitches, tech stuff, travel stuff. I mean, this morning's whole kerfuffle with at least in the US, we had an issue where one of the main systems used for coordinating air flights was completely offline. I don't know if it's back online, but flights have been delayed and canceled and just all over the place. That's exactly the kind of thing you can expect to happen. It's all right. We're all still here. It's just super not great if you're traveling, for example. Hey, Vincent, good to see you. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking some of the requests from the chat. I've started us off with an anchoring of a grid a little bit, as well as, just so you know, I am going to slide off. I do have a hard end time at about 5:25 because I teach at 5:30. I teach a Reiki level 1 multi-week class. So I'm going to get as many of the requests as I can. If you're requesting multiple stones, I may only get to like the lion's share of them and not quite all of them, but I'll do my absolute best to accommodate everybody that I possibly can. So let's go ahead over to the crystal grid and start building for all of your requests. Okay, so here we go. We have got, let's see. To start us off, I started us off with some jade right here in the middle. Nephrite jade it's a stone that really, no wonder it's sacred to not only the peoples of China all the way back to ancient times, but also that of Central and South America. This is good fortune in love, relationship, family, career. It's basically an all-around blessing stone. We also have our usual copper, which helps to break up any blockages and get the energy flowing. We have pyrite, which helps us to manifest material abundance, open us up intuitively, as well as offer some protection. It's also great for the lungs and fever, and I know so many of you are battling illnesses this time of year. We also have, for material abundance, we have citrine. This helps to call in all of the finances and everything we need for our basic needs. This also helps to balance intuition and logic. We have peridot, which helps to break up cycles and things that when we tend to do the same thing over and over again, and it's really not super healthy for us. This helps us to break that up, and it also helps to solidify and even attract new friendships that support those more positive ways of going about things. We have moss agate, which can be very, very helpful with any kind of illness or infection, whether it's bacteria, virus, fungal, whatever you might be struggling with. This can help clear that from the body. It helps support your body to do what it does so well and helping to rid yourself of those things. We also have blue lace agate, which helps to communicate things that are really sensitive, whether it's sensitive emotionally for us to express them, or if it's sensitive emotionally for the other person to hear it, and we're trying to be mindful of their emotional well-being when we tell them difficult things. Also helps with anything involving sore throat. So many people are battling a cold right now. And lapis. We've been working with this quite a bit. This helps with everything around integrity. So as my friend Janie would say, the talk to do ratio. So open, honest communication, working together, but also moving up in your career, whether that's your current workplace or elsewise. This can help you to move up in that. And I know that a lot of you have been working on that. So that's what we're starting off with our focus. I also did see someone was asking for help with psoriatic arthritis. Arthritis can be supported with the blue lace agate, but also I brought in some leopard skin jasper. That helps with animal healing, connecting with our animal and our animal helpers and our animal spirit guides, but also really great for anything having to do with the skin, which is, and also with anything that has to do with, like psoriatic arthritis is based in psoriasis, so that's more autoimmune too. Both of these stones can be really helpful, even though it's attacking the joints, it's the same kind of inflammation, so both of these can be helpful, as well as moss agate to a point too. So let's go ahead and bring these in, and I hope that that's supportive of you and helpful. I also saw a request for pink kunzite. Pink kunzite, this actually has pink kunzite in it as well as a number of other things too. Pink kunzite is a really high vibrational unconditional love stone. It helps to lift the vibration of your heart so that you can attract a little bit more and hold space for more supportive growth and development of your heart center, to give you all of the unconditional love that you need to help create some big shifts in your life. So we'll go ahead and bring that in. And yeah, so I will go ahead. I'm going to say hi to everybody that is in the chat now. Also welcome in, Ms. Henry. Thank you for subscribing. We also have, let me adjust the light a little bit. It looks a little dark there. That's actually helpful. Okay, I think maybe I just need to readjust lights. I've been redoing the whole office area, so I will redo the larger lights soon too. Gotcha. Okay, so let's see everybody that's in here. Welcome to the new folks. We've got, and to returning folks, we've got Grace, I'm doing well. I hope you are too. Christina, liver. I think that's, if I remember right, that's more like liver chi. But either way, I will place in for that. But let me know if I'm wrong. We've also got Chris, Anne, welcome. Somya, welcome. Vincent, and Somya, let me know if I'm mispronouncing your name. Thank you for being here. We've also got Vincent, Blue Sky, Korakar, Key, and or Patty. Oh, it's Patty. Okay, good stuff. And yeah, welcome in everyone. I'm so glad you're here. And those of you who might be watching and just sort of taking it all in, I'm glad that you're here too. Feel free to share anything that you like in the chat, or, you know, if you have intentions and it's like, this is a little bit public, that's okay. Just think of the intention and the universe will hear it just the same. So let's see what we've got here for liver chi. Let's go ahead and bring in some howlite. This will help with a few of the different things too. So howlite can help with anger and resentment. I think of it as having a lot to do with the liver meridian for a lot of reasons. It's also great for anti-frustration and the bones and the joints, whether it's absorbing calcium, healing breaks and things, or if you're just having like ongoing kind of chronic joint and pain issues. So this would definitely help with things like psoriatic arthritis with the damage over time. This is white howlite again. It's thought to be helpful for teeth, hair, and bones in general, but it's also great for stability and blessings, as well as helping us to see what is the underlying cause of our anger resentment, frustration, so that we can make changes on it in a proactive way rather than simply having it explode and having it be more of a destructive force. So this is white howlite. We'll bring that in for all of those good things. And for those of you just joining us, I know I usually have the event listed and up for like hours ahead of time, but I actually just got my internet back like a couple hours ago. So for those of you who are just joining in, I'm so glad you're here. I do have a hard end time today at about 5:25 because I'm teaching tonight. So if you're requesting a lot of stones, I'll get to as many as I possibly can, and I want to get to everybody that I possibly can as well. So we will do our best, and thank you for understanding. Let's see what else we have. Back and heart healing, Kunzite, rose quartz, celestite, rhodonite. Celestite's also really helpful for pain. I was thinking that might come out. Let's see. Rhodonite. And rose quartz. Absolutely. Okay. Rose quartz is very much in alignment with Kunzite. Rose quartz is a very stable, unconditional love. And I feel like when we're working through something, when we're healing something, when we're breaking up patterns, like especially something like peridot, where we're changing how we behave or how we respond to something, when we're letting go of things that no longer serve or past pain or old habits, it can be really hard to let go. Part of us is expecting that there's a chance something else worse can show up. It's like, well, if I let go of this, what else can happen? If I let go of what happened, I'm afraid it'll happen again. And that's not unreasonable. I mean, it totally makes sense, very much logically. Rose quartz, with its very consistent vibration, helps to remind us, like, this is always here. You can always invite in this unconditional love to continue to support you and help you as you move on. It reminds you that there's something better to take in, which ultimately makes it easier to let go of what doesn't serve. So we're going to go ahead and bring rose quartz in. We also have rhodonite, which helps definitely with allergies, and it's thought autoimmune stuff. So psoriatic arthritis, this will definitely help. I have autoimmune stuff too, and allergies and asthma, and I find that this is a really helpful stone. It's, of course, none of these are replacements for, modern medicine, herbal medicine, whatever else you might be doing. But it's sort of like, it's not going to hurt. It's definitely going to help. It's almost like an extra bonus on top of whatever else you might be doing to help yourself. But yeah, definitely overcoming things too, like unrequited love, overcoming breakup, moving through the loss of a relationship, end of a relationship or love, as well as even just grief in general, helps to balance the yin and the yang in the body, which can, in short, without going all into the Chinese medicine balancing, this can be really helpful anytime, but especially if you are just getting over being sick and you're finding it difficult, like you go and you use your energy and then you really need to sleep again. This helps kind of bring that back into balance. So, rhodonite. Let's see, we'll put them here. And celestite is a stone that is very angelic. It helps us connect to our angel guides, but it also can really help us in terms of physical pain. I find that it helps us to kind of transcend the needs of the physical body, so we can focus a little bit more on what we can connect with, our spirit guides and helpers, and it lessens the severity of the experience of pain. And so this is celestite. Also helps with discerning what is a thought and what is a fear and what is our intuitive guidance. So if you've ever had one of those, I don't know if this is my intuition telling me I should be careful here, or if this is just me worrying that something bad is going to happen, or if this is me stressing that something's going to take place because I've experienced that before. If you can't quite tell the difference, celestite can be really helpful. Also helps with trying to figure out the best way forward, or like, where do I go from here, this is one of the stones that helps you hear the voice of your angels so that you can better embrace your soul's purpose and what your opportunities are in the future. So this is celestite. Okay, so we've got celestite. I love it. It's a beautiful angelic stone. And if you're looking to connect with your angels in general, just whether it's feeling them around you or getting messages from them, celestite's a beautiful stone to work with. And thank you so much for being here, Grace. I hope you're doing well. And weight loss. Oh, hey, Ms. Henry. Okay, welcome in. Chronically fatigued, really healing for that. Aw, the work in this group is definitely helping. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. It really is. Isn't it wonderful to just know, like, we're not alone in our healing path? Even if our paths are different, it's just nice to know that, you know, it's almost like a rest stop on our journey. It's like a really therapeutic rest stop on our journey to meet up with other people and be like, yeah, I'm going through some things. Yeah, me too. All right, we're going to keep going. It's really powerful. And thank you all so much for everything that you bring here. Because me alone sending Reiki is one thing, but it's not the magic that is here. That's you guys. So thank you for being here. Healing for your body, for fibro too. Fibro, definitely celestite can be helpful with that. And the kittens are doing well. We've also got spinal stenosis, metabolism, and I did see I did see the request for health and hormonal problems for sure. So for both of you, that would definitely be Unakite. Unakite is helpful for anything having to do with hormones, especially it's considered to be very helpful with women's health and hormones, but it is helpful for across the gender spectrum for help with hormones. It also helps with smoking cessation if you're working to quit smoking. This can be really helpful, but in general, it's thought to be a wonderful stone for, like I said, for hormones, but also for metabolism, especially when because that is really so linked to hormones. This is a stone that can help with finding good relationships, being one with the changes that come through life, and even with fertility. So we'll bring this in. Unakite is one of those stones I don't see as much as I feel like I should in the healing arts world. I don't know why. It does so many things so well, and it's so gentle and supportive. For spinal stenosis, we have Amazonite. Amazonite helps with anything having to do with the nerves, especially the spine, the nerves of the spine. So it may be helpful for something like fibro, but it's more for like things like sciatica and actually the spine itself, like on an orthopedic level. So spinal stenosis being an example, sciatica being an example of like spinal nerve. It's also an incredible stone of self-care for the healers, for the supportive people. If you are somebody who is a natural caregiver and tend to keep an eye on what others need and maybe neglect your own needs here and there, this is a stone that's going to remind you how critically important that is and help you open up to make more time to prioritize yourself so that you can stay in balance, supporting yourself while you support others. Amazonite is a beautifully dynamic stone for that. So Amazonite. Love finding a soulmate, intuition, financial abundance. We've got some good financial abundance stones in here. We've also got Kundalini Awakening is definitely aragonite with blue Caribbean calcite. Aragonite helps with the lower chakras, specifically the root and the earth star, which is enacting your soul's purpose, actually making the efforts to do the things and get you moving forward. as well as the soul star, which is connection to the divine and connection to collective consciousness, enlightenment, all that is, and your spiritual path forward. Because these are the upper and lowermost chakra areas and energy centers of the body, it allows everything in the center to kind of flow a little bit more evenly. The Kundalini is something I would even get somebody who is even more intimately knowledgeable about it than me. Kundalini energy is the energy that lays dormant at the base of the spine and rises up, surrounding and moving between the different chakra centers on the way to enlightenment. And it's thought that this can help hold a space to make that a little bit more easy and a little bit less all on, all off, but manage it a little bit better, help empower it. So we're going to bring that in. Love finding a soulmate. We definitely have good ones for that, including carnelian, which I see you requested. And let's see. Sybil, welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, let's see. So, and I see. Oh, what do I teach, Christina? I'm teaching Reiki level 1 this evening. I teach all the Reiki classes live online. So, yeah, I'll be teaching that at 5:30 today. So let's see. They're having their second week. I'm so excited about it too. It's so fun teaching Reiki 1. Let's go ahead and do some carnelian, which also helps relationships, love, and just how we get along with one another. Carnelian in general is one that it works with the sacral chakra, which is right beneath the navel. And so when you look up that chakra, when you look up carnelian, you see a lot of sex, sexual function, relationships, soulmate kind of energy, and all of that stuff is true. Like fertility, absolutely, that's absolutely true. But in a bigger way, it's how we relate to each other, how I create, how I show up in the community and the world around me, and how I sort of show up and plug in and find my place in the world, and how others find their place in the world while leaving room for me. So for that, it's relationships with a capital R. It's all kinds of relationships, from roommates to colleagues to other people that work on a project. This will help you with those relationships. It harmonizes the energy between a group of different people, and it's a really powerful healing stone. Does quite a bit of stuff, but absolutely helps to call in that love relationship. So we'll definitely bring that in. We definitely have Amazonite. I definitely want to bring in rutilated quartz. So many of you are mentioning like feeling fatigued, feeling run down, getting better from being ill. Rutilated quartz really helps with that energizing. It really brings our energy stores back up. It also helps direct healing exactly where it needs to go, regardless of the type of healing we're getting, whether it's something like this with crystal healing and Reiki, or even modern medicine. It's thought to help direct all of the healing vibes to exactly where it needs to go. And as such, it's often thought of as a supportive stone to anyone who's battling cancer, that it'll help, direct all those healings to exactly the place that needs it the most so that it can be taken care of. Does help the energy store, and also helps with replenishing the energy store after you've been run down or sick. So we'll bring this in. It balances the mind and body really well too. And so for that, I think it's very much one of those many purpose stones. I'm going to go ahead and put it on top of the rose quartz. I'm also going to set the intention that this stone helps support Korakar, our frequent and fave, for her stepfather who's struggling with cancer now too. But that'll help any of us who just sort of need more energy to kind of do what we need to do. We also have I'm going to get to as many as I can. Yeah, so weight loss and metabolism, very much Unakite, but also iolite. Iolite is another many purpose stone. This can help us to better connect intuitively and get those intuitive messages, being able, especially if it's visionary, if you're somebody who sees the pictures of the intuitions. It's also really helpful for incredible sleep, which we're going to send that energy to Jennifer Vatsa, who's here a lot and is struggling with sleep. This also helps with metabolism and weight loss, as well as fever. So another multi-purpose stone. So we'll bring in some iolite. We also have some requests for, let's see. Migraine surgery. That's definitely, the rutilated quartz definitely helps with healing up from surgery and things, illness and injury. But there's also, I think this will be for a lot of us, honestly, Shungite. Shungite helps with physical recovery and tissue repair. So whether you're getting over an illness, an injury, long-term or recent surgery, things like that, it can help like actually get those things to work. It also helps with releasing emotional pain, balancing and releasing stress, as well as keeping negative energy at bay. This is a stone that is on a physical level. It's probably part of your water filtration system if you have one, whether it's a pitcher in your fridge or, you know, you might have a several step filter. There's usually Shungite in a lot of those. It does actually absorb negative things to keep us from drinking it. That said, it does absorb those things, so those things are within it. So I don't suggest just going to a crystal store, buying Shungite and dropping it in water and saying, hey, the water's clean. Definitely get it from a source where you know that it's been inspected and made sure that it's clean and meant for ingesting. Not always the same thing, but on an energetic level can help you if you get really sensitive to energy fields, especially electromagnetic fields. If you're somebody who feels really drained around computers or certain types of lights or anything like that, this is a really helpful stone. So we're going to bring this in. Also helps with removing energy blocks. But yeah, getting better on the physical level. Yeah, Shungite is fantastic. Also for getting better on the physical level, I did see someone request emerald. And this is a great stone for that too. Not only does it help skin and tissue, but it also helps with regenerating passion for work and love life if you feel like you're just sort of blah. Great for anything upper respiratory, whether it's bronchitis or asthma, like whether it's an illness or a chronic kind of thing. Here you go. So whether it's a cold or something that's been going on your whole life, it's really helpful. Also tends to help those of us who may internalize feelings about or may have been teased or belittled about appearance or weight or anything like that. So if you're working on weight loss, if that's your goal, that's great. If you struggle with feelings about appearance in that way and kind of like that self-deprecating way, and you're trying to lose weight for you in a healthy way, but old unhealthy patterns or unhealthy self-reflection kind of comes up, emerald's one of those stones that can help you with that. So I'm going to bring this in for all of those different things. And yeah, this is what raw emerald can look like when it's not gem quality. Same as we had a request for sapphire. That's what sapphire can look like. Sometimes they're really brilliant, and when they're cut a certain way, they can shine and have light pass through them. But more often than not, they look like this. So we're going to go ahead and put some emerald here. Also helps with just opening the heart in a very loving way. Very supportive of self-love, self-reflection. And let's see what else we have. We'll do sapphire, garnet. Oh, good, we had that. Red tiger eye, mahogany obsidian. Okay, so let's do the next couple. So the blue here are the sapphire, as I showed you. Sapphire helps us to connect to our spirit guides and helpers, and also to just spirit in general. If you're somebody who does any kind of channel mediuming or almost like a translating from beyond the realm, whether it's tarot or speaking to a deceased relative on someone else's behalf, blue sapphire can be incredibly helpful. It can be a little ungrounding. So if you don't have a good practice of grounding and reconnecting to earth afterwards, definitely work on that. Work with some really grounding stones. It's very helpful, but it is very potent. So we'll bring that in. It also helps with the messages that we get with translating them to a client. So if you read tarot for someone else or you medium for someone else, we hear or get a message and then we may struggle with, how do I express this to this person in a useful way? Blue sapphire can be helpful. And in addition to all of that, it's just a very spiritual stone, very uplifting, reminding us that spirit is close by. Red tiger eye is highly, highly protective, whether it's mundane, bullying, cattiness, that kind of thing, all the way up to like really malevolent, like nasty spiritual work, or almost somebody with like a takedown campaign kind of thing. This is the kind of stone that is very, very protective on a spiritual level and on a mundane level to help you be who exactly you are and not be subjected to other people's sort of low vibe attacks. It's also really helpful for calling in money in a hurry. So we'll bring this into very grounding. Blue kyanite helps us with that sense of self as well, seeing ourselves as fundamentally lovable, seeing ourselves as a manifestation of divine love. Additionally, it helps us with understanding any kind of spiritual messages, whether it's in dreams, when we do intuitive work on our own. If we're just like, I got something, but I don't know what it means, this is a great stone for that. Also helps with any kind of, or it's thought to help with any kind of brain injury, including stroke, that impacts mobility and or speech. So blue kyanite, and it's also really pretty. So yeah, this is the stone that reminds us like we are incredibly lovable as we are. Mahogany obsidian helps us let go of perfectionism. So any idea that like we can't move forward, we can't launch the thing, we can't do the thing until we're perfect, until it's perfect. Or if we're waiting for validation, like we have to do something super perfect so that we get recognized, and then that will validate us for being who we are and what we do. This helps remind us that the idea of perfection is more like an ideal. It's not necessarily an attainable goal all the time. It also reminds us that we are enough and we are beautiful and valid as we are without having to seek validation outside. So let's go ahead and put that in this line too. Obsidian, all obsidian, regardless of the color and the style, is generally from volcanic activity. It's volcanic glass, actually. It's really unique stuff. It's also very grounding, so it goes along with these stones as well. Garnet, and I mean, we're in January still, so very much this is the birthstone of January, and it's a very Capricorn stone. This helps with the courage and creativity to take those next steps and do the thing. This is organization, management, and getting out there, getting things done, using your energy and time as wisely as possible, being efficient. It's sort of the what's a good way to put it? Executive function stone. This is a great stone for just getting out of your own way, getting the thing done, and doing it really well and efficiently. I love garnet for all of those reasons. If you're struggling with organization and disorganization, this is one of the stones that can help you too. If you're struggling with a stone to help you with getting work done, this is one of them. Anything that you would think of having to do with all of those sort of being a boss. Garnet can be very helpful. Rutilated quartz, Herkimer. We did kyanite. We did sapphire. We did iolite. We have peridot. Let's do Herkimer if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Herkimer helps us to banishing negative energy. Yeah, absolutely. The red tiger eye is helpful for that. Strengthening spiritual focus and channeling. Absolutely. Cool. Definitely blue sapphire. But I'm going to see there might be some... Oh, I know. Prenite. I'll put that in next. So Herkimer helps with taking what we're asking the universe for, what we're manifesting, and asking that it, rather than just universe, give me this, which is kind of like the secret universe, give me this. I deserve it. It also adds in universe, this is what I want and need, and I want this to impact the community and everyone it touches with the optimal benefit. Have this be the most spiritually significant and relevant version of what I'm asking for that's possible. So it's beautiful for that. Also with intuition, with being in the present moment, which if we're manifesting, being in the present moment is such a big part of making that work. If we don't take a moment to simply be where we are, it's hard to think about where we want to go. So being in the present moment too helps us to hear the universe kind of connecting with us a little bit as well. Ah, you're a Sag Cap cusp. I am very much a Capricorn sun, so it's a good one to have. Okay, we also have, for focus on channeling and spirituality, I'm going to also start with Chevron Amethyst. This is great for connecting and things like channeling, any kind of spiritual pursuit. It helps up. So basically, if you look at, because these are a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit harder to see. But if you look at especially this one right here, you'll see that there's like those stripes or bands right there. Those are what are the chevrons, like the, almost like the V up and down, up and down. It's thought that Chevron Amethyst can help us to send up messages to spirit and then hear those messages back. So whether you're asking the universe for support or you're asking for guidance and you want to hear that more clearly, or if we're trying to work in channel or connection with spirit and learning, this can be very, very potent. So whether you're manifesting or looking to channel, this is a really powerful stone. Let's go ahead and put this in here. Having it cut into a double terminated shape, meaning 2 points, can be even more helpful. That's like an intention setting in the stone carving that helps to set the intention that the energy will go in both directions. You can send it up to the universe and have it come back to you. So Chevron Amethyst carved into 2 points is a pretty powerful stone. Stay. And Prenite helps us with any kind of spiritual learning, whether we are teaching it or learning it or both. Helps with attaining spiritual wisdom in a very intellectual way so that we can later on teach it to others as well. Also helpful for refusing demands that are just way out of line. So like unreasonable demands, if you have trouble saying no, Prenite can be a helpful stone. Dream Amethyst. I'm not sure. There's a lot of, and we mentioned this here and there, the names that things go by in like the metaphysical world are sometimes kind of like made up as a descriptor, but they could be known by like 3 different things, or they could be 2 completely different things. So like spirit quartz is usually druzy rose quartz, for example, but Chevron amethyst, known as dream amethyst, I don't know if that's a different type or style of amethyst, or if that's just a description to what we already have. Dream amethyst also might be kind of like spirit quartz, which is druzy or baby crystals that are starting to form, where it looks like this is an example of druzy. Those little sparkles, those are new little baby crystals starting out. And so when you see them on rose quartz, oftentimes that's called spirit quartz. Sometimes people will call it that even on clear quartz or amethyst, and sometimes not. Yeah, so it's hard to say for sure. I'll do some more research on what that term means today. I mean, I spent a lot of time on Jewelers Row and things like that, and so they have totally different names for certain things. It's like because they're more towards the geology side and the fine jewelry side and less the metaphysical side. So I will look into it. Yeah, that happens a lot. Sometimes things are known as like by 3 different names, but it's the same stone. But amethyst in general can help you with connection with your dreams and with sleeping better. And this can definitely help with connecting with your dreams if your dreams are connected with spiritual guidance, for sure. Let's see. What else can we put in here? Understanding personal power. I like that. Return of Cat and Zest for Life. So let's go ahead and bring in some jet. Jet is helpful for calling on missing animals, but it's also helpful for grief. This is a stone that allows us to be present and in the space of acknowledging how we feel and what grief is, and be able to process it without being completely overwhelmed or just completely shut down. This is actually wood that's been fossilized through usually volcanic activity. So it's like it was a living tree, and then all of a sudden, boom, this catastrophe happens, and now it is a stone. It has a completely different take on it. And while it has changed and it is different, it's not necessarily less than, but it is quite different. And so this has a lot of depth in understanding that grief and that transition time. Okay, so that's jet. Yeah, there's metaphysical community, gem community, commercial community, and then the foreign trade community. Yeah, and then there's even subgroups within that. It's pretty amazing, like how one stone can have very different names and understandings. Yeah, like a druzy for fine jewelers. That's not something you would usually see in fine jewelry. That's more modern, that people like that. You know, but it's super awesome and has a very different vibe, and you know, they're new little baby crystals. That's so cool. So I mean, there's very different things. Yeah, and everybody in different cultural understandings of what one crystal does over another. When we talk about people who are in an area and have been for some time, they have a very different appreciation for and connection with the spirit of that stone. So why some stones are sacred to certain people in certain places is a lot of times just whether they're indigenous people or, you know, or anything like that, it can be the historic connection with that crystal. Green calcite and picture jasper. You got it. Green calcite. Let's do that. Green calcite's helpful for anxiety and stress in general, but especially with like anxiety, panic, stress. This is one that allows us to kind of like release it, be present in the moment, and also kind of adds a little bit of lightness and levity to a tough time. It can be really, really helpful. It's like a go-to. It's almost like the rescue remedy of crystals to me. This is one that we use often for that. If you're struggling with like making progress because you just feel like you're freaking out all the time, grab some green calcite. Picture jasper helps us with connecting to the ability to see the future in front of us, and not just the future, but more like our future. What are our opportunities? What can we start working towards in our life to make it real? What are our opportunities down the pike? And picture jasper helps us to literally envision that. Okay. Picture jasper is sometimes called desert jasper because it looks like the desert too. So talking about different stones with different names. And you'll see what I mean when I show you, like, this is picture jasper. So yeah, if you look at a piece of it, there's always a different picture within it. So it helps you envision a new way forward. And even the best way forward for you. For empowerment and sense of self and self-identity, I really want to bring in some honey calcite. Yeah, here we go. Honey calcite helps us to, it really helps with the sacral chakra, which is what we talked about with carnelian, but also with the solar plexus, which is your center of self-identity, self-worth. And this allows you to show up in life and say, like, this is me, this is how I'm showing up in the world, while also understanding like how we interlace with everyone and everything around us. So if you're looking to feel a little bit of optimistic and joyful empowerment, and you're looking for other people who would exalt that and lift that up, this is a great one. So if you're looking for colleagues, friends, neighbors, relationships that want to support you and be in your highest good and allow you the opportunity to shine while also showing up and embodying your own shine, this is a great stone. It's a lot of optimism in this stone. And that's honey calcite. We also have, let's see, I kind of want to bring in for Vincent as well some bloodstone, which also goes by heliotrope. One of the things that this can really help with is self-doubt. So this can really bolster that sense of, no, I trust myself, and I'm gonna open my heart and say, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, I belong here, I trust myself. This is a stone that is intensely emotionally supportive. It's like the emotional stuff hits the fans kind of stone. It gives a lot of emotional stamina for like prolonged shifts and change and grief and things like that. But also it can help to foster a connection with the root chakra, allowing us to feel more grounded in our sense of self. So I'm going to bring this in. And bloodstone goes by heliotrope in some parts of the world. So if you look it up in books, you might find it under either name or both. So that helps a lot with self-doubt. Absolutely. And I think we're getting to be about that time. Let's see. Make sure I didn't overlook anything major. I think I got everybody's majority of their stuff. Okay, so we're going to do that thing where I pick a couple of stones, you vote on which one you like the most, and then we get into the healing. And I think I'm going to bring in This has been jumping out at me all day. So, for those of you who are new, you are not limited to just one vote. Hint, hint. So I see a lot of requests for things like more or less like getting out there, standing up and doing the things we need to do or want to do to make those strides on our soul's purpose and our path forward. And so for that, I want to bring in some ruby. This is, I feel like a good extension of where garnet might bring us. This is an exceptional leadership stone. If someone gets a promotion as a manager or wants to become a manager or become a better manager, ruby. Now, it's one that helps us to see big picture, and it's one that also allows us to lead from a place of very grounded, centered, embodied strength. So not just like from the solar plexus, which is like, do what I tell you, but more like, I am grounded, I am connected, my basic needs and vital urges are in check, and this is what we need to do, and we're all going to embody this going forward. So it's a very empowering stone too. The other is moonstone, which is definitely one that helps with bringing in love, a love interest, but also connection to divine wisdom, the divine feminine, connection to, and really a deep connection to, and bringing in a more rhythmic balance with the cycles of nature. So this is moonstone. Also helps with intuition, releasing patterns, and can be protective during times of travel, which I don't know if you've noticed, but the Mercury retrograde had a little bit of fun with our airline industry. So there's that. So go ahead and vote for ruby or moonstone. Again, you're not limited to just one vote. Hint, hint. Type that into the chat if you would like. While you're doing that, if you wouldn't mind liking the stream, that totally helps the stream. I'm going to briefly explain what Reiki is to anybody who's new, and then we're going to get into the healing. So as I mentioned at the top of the stream, my name is Danielle Stimpson. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I'm here 5 times a week. Regular days and times are listed below in the description if you want to join me again. And also there's information down there about my live online Reiki certification classes, community Discord, social media, and crystal shop. So what is Reiki? The style of Reiki I've been working with for over 14 years is known as Usui Reiki, and it's named after the system's founder, Mikao Usui, who created this in the early 1920s Japan. Though it was based on many different spiritual studies and his life of practice and work, and also his very much Japanese viewpoint on what energy is. If we want to describe what energy is in a nutshell, the best way to look at it is the very foundational understanding of what energy is in the Usui system really comes from Shintoism, the indigenous spirituality of Japan, in which everything has a soul and everything is interconnected. And within this interconnectedness, which is not just all the people, but the animals, the land, everything has an interconnection. There are forces at play within this interconnection. And one of those forces is a spiritually guided soul energy or life energy. And that's roughly what Reiki translates to. So this particular energy, it's thought in Japanese culture and Usui system that this particular energy is not mine nor yours nor anyone's. It's something that's already flowing through all of us. It's a part of who you are. Even if you've never heard of it and don't acknowledge it, doesn't mean it's not there. And that this energy is what our body, mind, and spirit are working with to bring about the greatest amount of healing and balance it can for us on a moment-to-moment basis. Our body, mind, and spirit are already working with Reiki energy. Essentially, what I'll be doing is using Usui's techniques and methods to connect with that energy and direct more of it to you to help support your body, mind, and spirit to do what it already does best. So essentially, it's like more good stuff that your body can say, oh, great, and do what needs to be done in your best interest. During the session, you may feel things physically on your body, have physical sensations. You may have some emotional shifts. You may have some mental awareness, even just a place to really think things through that you haven't been able to, or just hear your subconscious. And spiritually, you may get some intuitions, get some spiritual guidance, and you may also just have a really beautiful nap, probably a big combination of all of the above. during this session, you don't have to focus on anything. You don't have to keep your mind silent. You can simply be and just see what shows up. If you find that you feel like your mind is racing, or if you're not sure if what's coming to mind is helpful or healing, just take a deep breath in and out. And if it keeps coming back, hear it out. At the end of the 25-minute session, I will unmute everything and bring open the chat, and you can ask any questions that you have, share any experiences that you may have had that felt relevant. And at the end there, we'll go ahead and have a beautiful day wherever we happen to be in the world. One of the many beauties is because we are all interconnected. It doesn't matter where we are in relationship to me, whether in terms of miles or kilometers or time. So if you're watching this in the future, hello from the past, you're going to have just as fun and healing a time. If you're simply open to receiving this energy, you absolutely will. Those of you who are here live, if you do want to get some healing and I'm not live, you can always watch an old stream, take a peek at some of the old the past streams, and you can pick one just by the picture of the crystal grid on the cover, just whatever speaks to you, and just enjoy. During the session, like I said, you don't have to focus on anything or keep your mind silent. And I will also turn the lights down. You'll notice that they move slowly and evenly through several different colors, but at no point will they flash or strobe. And the music will be up and uplifting for you. If you would like to learn more about our musical creator, her information is at the bottom of the description as well. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and see what won the vote and get into the healing. Both. Oh, hidden blessings. We have jade, and we also have Howlite can help with that sometimes too, but we have jade at the bottom too, which can help with hidden blessings. But for both, let's go ahead and put some, yeah, it's always both for those of you who are new. Now you know. Let's see. Let's bring in some moonstone. And ruby. So everybody get comfy. You can keep your eyes open or closed. You can lay down. You can take a nap. You can meditate. You can do some stretches, whatever you want. This time is for you. I'm going to go ahead and lower the lights, turn up the music, send the healing to you wherever you happen to be, and I'll see you all in about 25 minutes. invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly come back to the space that you're in. Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. You're so welcome, Vincent. You're welcome, Grace. So my next streams are Friday at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., Sunday at 8 p.m., and then next Tuesday at 10 a.m., and again next Wednesday at 4 p.m. It's always such an honor and a privilege to send healing to all of you. I'm so glad to have you all here. Thank you all so much for the support and for the growth and for spreading the word and for all the kind words and well wishes in the chat to not only me but everyone else here. Thank you so much for making this a warm and inviting space. I couldn't do it without you. If you have any questions, let me know, but I'm going to get ready to go ahead and teach my class soon. Thank you, Blue Sky. Thank you, Key. Well, Patty. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to disconnect now. Again, thank you so much. I will be here Friday at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. East Coast US time. Go ahead and subscribe with your notifications on if you want to make sure that you don't miss an opportunity to heal. My classes for the rest of the winter through the spring are enrolling now at learnreikiphiladelphia.com. And you can also go there to schedule a one-on-one distance session or tarot reading. Thanks again so much. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Take care and bye for now.